Hello, it's Friday, September 6th, and it must be time for another update from your North Carolina Medical Society. We didn't think we were going to be here this week, but...
Surprise, we're here.
A couple of big things happening. First and foremost, there's a storm off our coast, a Hurricane Dorian, and we're really happy to see that the evacuation, both the mandatory and the voluntary evacuations are really heated because a lot of people are just out of harm's way, as well as the fact that the storm is just lighter to begin with. So that's a good thing.
Still seeing impacts even right now. So
right.
Definitely something to monitor. But right. We have a really helpful and useful resource that we hope can help guide you through some important resources through the storm. So be sure to check out our website. We have a landing page with a lot of important tools.
Yeah, so we're really trying to connect you to all the tools that DHHS is pushing out about what your Medicaid patients might need, where the various safety clinics might be.
If you want to help.
Right. If there's a volunteer opportunity, like we were needing respiratory therapists yesterday, that was out there. So trying to guide you to be in a helpful place if you can be of help, and trying to give you resources if you're in a place that might be impacted. So keep looking at the website for updates, because we probably won't do another update by video.
Right. In health news,
yes.
A big announcement this week is that Medicaid Transformation is delayed.
Not unexpected.
Yeah, not unexpected.
But here we are. Yep, so no go live in November of 2019. Now, for the two regions that
right.
were ready, now we're going statewide.
Instead of the...
all at one time.
Yes.
Here we go, February 1st, 2020. That still could possibly change
right.
as well.
It's not set in stone.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of factors out there. I mean, you've heard us talking about the debates around the budgets and the mini budgets and Medicaid expansion, Medicaid transformation, and how all this works together. But we'll see.
But it's a dramatic change, though.
Yeah.
It all happening at one time
right.
Could prove to be difficult.
It could.
Areas.
It could. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about with DHHS over the next few months. We really like the idea of a phase-in, because we all saw what happened with NC Tracks and how difficult that was. Right. I don't know that we really want to see go live. Yeah. So more to come on that. Right as that announcement was made, of course, the hurricane was imminent, and we got a 3-judge decision on state races. And so distractions galore came in, so not a lot more information than just the fact that Medicaid has been moved out to February. So yeah. More information around that to come.
So, like Chip mentioned, a bipartisan 3-judge panel ruled that our state legislative maps were unconstitutional.
Right.
So we're already seeing the legislature preparing committee meetings next week to get those maps redrawn. They have 2 weeks to draw new maps, and if not, or if the court decides that those maps do not fit the criteria in which the court wants them to fit, they could be redrawn by the court, and that could delay our primary elections. So
right.
definitely something that we will be following very closely.
Yeah, we're under the gun on this one, because remember, our primaries moved to Super Tuesday in March, so filing was going to be in December. So that's why the court has said, like, you've got to move on this thing, you've got to go. And the legislature is responding to that. It's interesting that the court on these cases really focused on just the North Carolina Constitution pieces, whereas you heard before that the U.S. Supreme Court did not get involved in our congressional district maps, because they said there was an issue of politics, and they didn't get into that when applying the U.S. Constitution. Well, the North Carolina Constitution actually has a free elections clause, and that's what the judges really relied upon to base the one significant piece of their argument, as well as equal protections and some other things. But it's forcing them to redraw the state legislative, state Senate, state House.
The people who are here in Raleigh,
yes.
just to clarify.
Right, not the people that represent us up in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's just note that all of those, likely, a number of districts will have to change. So the court pointed out a number of districts that would be required to be changed. But of course, we know if you move one line here and one line over there, that means likely a majority of our House and Senate districts would look a little bit differently.
Most definitely. And the fact that all the criteria that has been used previously basically is not allowed to be used anymore. Right. So it's going to be really interesting to see.
Except for where the incumbent lives.
Right. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out over the next couple of weeks. And like Sue Ann said, 2 weeks, so September 18th is when they have to have this done by. I think that's going to consume
Next
the
week, for
conversation.
sure.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to do much else except for that.
In that short timeline, for
Yeah.
sure.
So big week, 3 storms, all kind of
Yeah.
at one time. So we're happy to bring you this update. A lot more detail, like we said, about Dorian and things you can do on our website. More information to come about transformation, and then we'll see
What happens with the maps?
what happens with the maps. Yeah, over the next week.
We'll update you next week.
That's right. Stay safe, and if you can, get out there and help some folks. Have a great weekend.